In unity, we practice having spiritual community as a full-bodied practice. And part of that is tithing, but it's not the old school tithing that you might know from traditional church, traditional Christian church, traditional religion, where it's like your money is needed, period, right? Or you are sustaining this and there's any guilt about it. What it is that we tithe of our time, talent, and our treasure. And with that giving, we know that we're an inlet and an outlet of all that is God. And for some of us, that means taking a gift like Nikki's that she gifts to you. Do you know that she gifts that to you when she comes? Green Spirit Band, Stephanie, they gift that to you. They have professional talents and they bring it to the stage. For some of you, you are incredible financial contributors. For some of you, you're the 20% that makes up for the 80% that might just kind of tip a little. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. And some of you give in that way. And some of you show up every single Sunday like Matt Crane up there to do the live stream. Give it up for Matt Crane. Like our hosts in the virtual sanctuary, like Deborah, who is in the office every single week, like the ushers and the greeters. And that's part of our practice. And it's no small thing. When we make a commitment to circulate our good, when we make a commitment to tithe of our time, talent, and treasure, not only do we recreate this place every Sunday, but something happens within us. Something has grown within us. We are bonded in a way, and we are better in a way. We create. We co-create. And that's incredible, isn't it? Yeah. So, welcome to this divine appointment. I see some beautiful new faces, and a shout out to you because we are grateful that you've found us. We're grateful that you're here. And blessings to all the littles in this sanctuary. Just know that there's a basket of books right out around the corner, and know that you and your beautiful sounds of love and light are welcome in this sanctuary and celebrated. There's a story I want to start with and I want to share. You may have heard this before. It's about two monks. A senior monk and a junior monk were traveling together. At one point, they came to a river with a strong current. As the monks were preparing to cross the river, they saw a very young and beautiful woman also attempting to cross. The young woman asked if they could help her cross to the other side. The two monks glanced at one another because they had taken vows not to touch a woman. Then, without a word, the older monk picked up the woman, carried her across the river, and placed her gently on the other side and carried on his journey. The younger monk couldn't believe what had just happened. After rejoining his companion, he was speechless, and an hour passed without a word between them. 2 more hours passed, then 3. Finally, the younger monk couldn't contain himself any longer, and he blurted out, "As monks, we are not permitted to touch a woman. How could you then carry that woman on your shoulders?" The older monk looked at him and replied, "Brother, I set her down on the other side of the river. Why are you still carrying her?" One of my favorite things about springtime is the hostas. Any other hosta lovers, garden lovers out there? I just love it. It's like there's nothing. My yard is brown. There are no leaves on the trees. And then every morning I wake up and there's this like neon green, lush green gorgeousness starting to take over my yard. And then out of nowhere in the grass are these just strong, vibrant, incredible beauties that I don't have to plant. I don't have to weed. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to ask them to grow. I don't have to schedule it. I have to do nothing. And they're nowhere to be seen until the spring. And then all of a sudden, with their stripes and their vibrant colors and their lusciousness, and every day they grow so much. But the rest of the time, they're under there, and no one knows. I'm in the process of opening up a view to the lake in the back of my house, because technically, like, the houses on the side don't have a lot of bushes, but then the lake had a lot of bushes in front of it. So there's a process of rearranging things. And I've been very mindful because I don't know where the hostas are going to come up, So I'm like, gotta walk carefully because there are hostas here. There's a lot of green under here, and we don't know, but they're going to start popping up, and boom, they'll be here. And I got to make sure that they can stay, right? But there are some things in life that we don't want to pop up, aren't there? There are some things, some seeds, some beliefs, some fill in the blank, under the surface, under the soil of our lives. Boom, pop up. Boom, they grow. Boom, we don't always know where they are. We don't know what kind of plant, we don't know what kind of seed, we don't know the location, we don't know the timing. Seeds sitting there. Boom. There's a saying by a motivational speaker, Nathan Morris. He says, edit your life frequently and ruthlessly. It is your masterpiece after all. Woo! Edit your life frequently and ruthlessly. It is your masterpiece after all. Unity's co-founders, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, taught that our mind and our emotional system creates. And that's what we're here to edit, our belief system. And that belief system sometimes lies underneath the surface like the hostas. Sometimes something on the surface like those two monks, it can seem like one is following the practice and the path, when really another is holding on to a belief system or a structure, thoughts, emotions, judgments, whatever it is, you fill in the blank, that is sprouting something, seeding something, growing something that is not in alignment with our highest intention, with the spirit of the law, not the letter of the law, the spirit of the law. We just completed here at UVC a prosperity group. We have a prosperity group each year, and it's an abundance practice, and it's also a freedom practice of releasing and letting go. And it's a group that gets together. It's open to everyone, but it's a group that gets together each year to practice forgiveness work, to look at our underlying beliefs, to engage in the law of circulation and see how we're living our lives, see what how good we are at receiving, how good we are at giving, and where we can unfold, where we can heal. And when we do those practices, we always unearth things. And it's a bit disturbing, it's a bit difficult, and it's also incredibly rewarding. So rewarding that as we had our last group this past week, there were many tears. Tears of unity, tears of connection, tears of appreciation, tears of gratitude that we got to engage in this practice, and tears of appreciation that we were able to unearth some things, and that we had other people to walk with on that journey of unearthing. So I always ask whenever we're discussing abundance or discussing beliefs or discussing our co-creation, and we're faced with things that make us uncomfortable or things that we want that we don't see, things growing up, boom, to ask a deeper question. What underlies that? What is underneath? What is the belief or the thought system underneath this? Because we can edit things ruthlessly, right? But we can't edit what we can't see. If I don't know where the hostas are growing up, I can't transplant them or protect them. If I don't know where the weed is, I can't dig out the roots and eradicate it. So we begin to question our beliefs, our experience, the results, and step into alignment with our good. There's a saying in unity, God can do no more to me than God can do through me. God can do no more to me than God can do through me. So we look at what is underneath everything, because what is underneath everything is also part of the lens through which we see everything, through which we experience our reality. So if we have basic beliefs, if we have basic assumptions that are not in alignment with truth principle, that are not in alignment with divine law, that are not in alignment with good God grace, then we can pray and pray and pray and pray, but underneath the foundation of who we are and through the lens of what we see and what we experience, we will keep getting what we are seeding until we awaken. There's a spiritual teacher who is pretty incredible. Many of you might know her, but you might not. Her name isn't as spoken of in New Thought as it used to be, but her name is Maria Nemeth. Anyone familiar with Maria Nemeth and her work? She's a powerhouse, and she has something called the 10 basic assumptions, which we're going to go into in a minute. But she says our basic assumption is invisible to us. We don't think it, we be it. Our basic assumption is invisible to us. We don't think it, we be it. So those two monks, right, they both thought they had the practice, right? And then it looked like one had the practice, but the other one that didn't even carry the woman carried her more, right? Broke the vow more than the one who followed the spirit of the law. The hostas, there, underlying, seeds sitting there, boom. Our basic assumption is invisible to us. We don't think it, we be it. That means that for each one of us, there are beliefs or there is something that we are being that we can't see. So what do we do with that? What do we do with that? You know, in life, there's so much of life that we take for granted. Does anyone feel like that? Is anyone aware? Have you had the wake-up call or the wake-up calls where you realize life is precious, life is sacred, life is right now, and I was just asleep. I was taking it for granted. Maybe someone lifted off into their freedom form, they transitioned, they passed. Maybe something happened to you in your life that rearranged everything. Maybe the stars just feel like they, fell out of the cosmos. Or maybe a sweetness is just developing in you as you spiritually mature, as you age, that you've slowed down. You see things differently. You presence things in life rather than running through them, rather than managing them, rather than grasping and forcing. But a lot of times in life, we wait till we get the wake-up calls. We wait till we get the cosmic 2x4. We wait till life hurts. We wait till we have a little bit of suffering. We wait till we are awakened. What if we could get it without the wake-up call? What if we could get it? That kind of idea in the human condition that we're living on borrowed time. That this moment matters. That all it is this moment right now. That we don't have to wait for the pull of that idea that wakes us up. That in fact we can live in the here and now. What if we could get it without the wake-up call, get the sacredness of our loving? Like how sacred it is that we are loving. Like how sacred it is that we are right here, right now, wherever we are. That we are sitting next to the person that's sitting next to us. That we have the life that is exactly this life right here, right now. Even if it's painful, even if it doesn't feel light or joyful. Do you know what I'm saying? That there are times in life, like you can get done having the biggest fight or the biggest loss or fill in the blank in your life, something that your human self would call awful or terrible. You could be having anxiety, depression, whatever it is. And then in an instant, something can happen. In an instant, something can happen. There can be a shift. And all of a sudden, you're left with gratitude. You're left with awareness. You're left with a desire to be fully present to the sacredness of your loving. What if we could get it without the wake-up call that we're here to celebrate every moment? Not just to call it holy, but to create it as holy. Can we live without the wake-up call? Can we wake up without it? One way we do that is through the practice, through the way. By engaging our spiritual practice and looking at our lives and doing that, what Nathan called the frequent and ruthless editing, and looking at the masterpiece of our lives. We can do it by waking up. How do we see something we can't see? How do we see something that we're being? Unity has 3 keys. It's meditation, affirmation, and prayer. The MAP. Meditation, affirmation, and prayer. It's the map to awakening. Meditation brings things through and slows down the mind in a way and opens the mind and the heart in a way that it cannot. I don't think it can open otherwise. It slows us down enough that we see things we wouldn't have seen. We react differently. It changes the lens. Affirmation, that's stepping into alignment with truth principles, into alignment with good, into alignment with what we call God. And prayer. Prayer is conditioning the mind. Not trying to change God, but knowing that all Godness has given. God is a great yes, so show me. Show me what seeds are planted in here that no longer serve, that aren't aligned with my intention, that are not part of the offering that I want to bring to this life I call my life. Meditation, affirmation, and prayer. Those are the tools with which we show up to look at the seeds that are planted that we might be so enmeshed with we're being and we can't see. So Maria Nemeth has 10 basic assumptions. Are you ready? Are you ready to uncover some seeds? You might not have known this about yourself, but there's probably one here. And if you're spiritually advanced, like so many of us, you may tick off a few in these boxes. You may take home a couple and be like, I actually have that one and that one. Now, these basic assumptions are not shared so that we can torture ourselves. They're not shared so that we can criticize ourselves. They're not shared so that we can dislike ourselves. They're not even shared so that we can change them or strong arm them, resist them, or push them away. They're shared so that we can have awareness. They're shared so that we can be present and be curious about them. Oh, interesting. There's the basic assumption again. I'm seeing everything through it. I'm feeling everything through it. It's the seed and it's planted. Let's take a look at it. Let's just acknowledge that it's there. And let the healing be the healing because I am aware. 10 basic assumptions Maria Nemeth teaches. I'm dumb. Is there any space or place within you? And a lot of times these basic assumptions aren't things that you think you're going to think, right? Because you're being it. So it's not necessarily that it's coming from the voice you can hear in your head. Maybe it's coming from other people, and it's the thing you think other people are thinking about you. Do you come to a place frequently where you think, they're saying I'm dumb? I'm feeling dumb. Is there any sort of storyline in your head? How about there's something wrong with me? Do you ever get to a place where you're looking at your life or experiencing your life and looking out at other people and then looking out at yourself, looking out at other lives and then looking out at yourself and going, there has got to be something wrong with me. What is wrong with me? Life is hard. Life is hard. That experience that life is hard. Do we come back to that? Those are the three assumptions in the flight category, like, I'm dumb, there's something wrong with me, life is hard. The next set, I can't. Do we frequently come back to a story that just goes, I can't? I can't. Or I don't know. I don't know. Or I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Living from doubt, living from I'm not sure. This isn't it. Wherever I am in my life, this isn't it. This isn't the real deal. This isn't it. I'm waiting, but this isn't it. This isn't the job. This isn't it. This isn't the relationship. This isn't it. This isn't how I'm supposed to feel, think, or be. This isn't it. I don't know what it is, but this isn't it. Those are part of the freeze category. You can't make me. You can't make me. I'll do it my way. I will do it my way. Is anyone feeling spiritually advanced, like you're ticking off multiple boxes? I've got my list going. People are Jerks. I don't want to be teaching anything here because we got little ones in the room. I have a little one at home, and every time you say something, you teach it. People are Jerks, silly goofballs. That's what we would call them. People are cheeky little rascals. Cheeky little rascals, that's what we call them. Is that an underlying basic assumption that you operate with the world with, that you bring with you, that you be as you come into relationships, as you come into your finances, as you come into the world? People, you can also put in politicians, the world around me, the systems, the structures, humans. Cheeky little rascals. I don't belong. I don't belong. It's just not right. Something just doesn't feel right in there. This just isn't my space. I don't belong either on this planet, in this body, in this culture, in this family, in this fill in the blank. I don't belong. I don't have a feeling of belonging, either somewhere or anywhere. So we've got, I'm dumb, there's something wrong with me, life is hard, I can't, I don't know, I'm not sure, this isn't it, you can't make me, I'll do it my way, people are Jerks, I don't belong. Did you find at least one? Raise your hand if you found at least one. And if you're online or in the Zoom room, go ahead and throw it out there. Put yours in there. Those spiritually advanced people, go ahead. Put all 5 of them in there. My sister sent me a text a while ago and some articles about adult women with ADD. And I'm like delete this because we're unity people and so we don't solidify anything as far as limitations. But she sends me this list and she's like, it's so understudied. Women with ADD. We study so much about boys and men with ADD, and we know what it looks like, the whole get them focused, this is what they're doing in the classroom, da 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 da. But intelligent women with ADD, read some articles. Anxiety, they can be prone to depression, they can be prone to perfectionism, they can show up as extremely capable, they can be very successful, and they got a big plate and a lot on it. Got some learning to do about themselves. So she sends me this list and tells me about the ones she's aware of and the number of them on a list of, 10 or 20. And I was like, I think I got you beat, sister. I got a few more than that. There's only a couple of those that don't apply. And I kind of wish they would. They were probably the ones that were more about organization. Can we see things we can't see? Can we transform things we don't know about? Can we unearth seeds we don't know are planted? Can we shift beliefs and step into alignment with our good through meditation, affirmation, and prayer? We can. Can we have basic assumptions like this that would seem to limit us, that we actually bring to things and then say, God, world, family, friends, partner, whatever it is, fill in the blank, job, why are you doing this to me again? Why are you making me not belong? Because I check all the marks on the checklist. I am coming with my sense of non-belonging, hoping that you will make me belong. But God can do no more to me than God can do through me. Amen? Can we achieve happiness with this craziness? Can we? Can we achieve peace? Can we allow these things to be part of the human condition, to be part of our nature and part of what we're aware of, without hating them, without disliking ourselves, without wishing them gone, and just letting them be and taking the power out of them? Eckhart Tolle, one of the greatest mindfulness teachers of our time, talks about the difference between peace and happiness. He said, is there a difference between happiness and inner peace? Yes. Happiness depends on conditions being perceived as positive. Inner peace does not. Happiness depends on conditions being perceived as positive. Inner peace does not. So that means peace is available even when we don't classify everything as positive. Good news. Maria Nemeth says, trying to alter what your mind says forces you to dance with it. Keep its rhythm. Focus your attention on it. I want to share the passage from 2 Peter 1, 5 through 7. From the New Revised Standard Version, it says, for this reason you must make every effort to support your faith with goodness, goodness with knowledge, knowledge with self-control or virtue, self-control with endurance or steadfastness, and endurance with godliness or reverence, holiness, and godliness with mutual affection, caring for each other, expressing love, showing up through the lens of love, and mutual affection with love, the highest of all things, a synonym for God. So can we make every effort to support our faith, That's what Charles Fillmore called the perceiving power of mind linked with the ability to shape substance. Faith, even the size of a mustard seed. Can we make every effort to support our faith with goodness? And goodness with knowledge or our wisdom. And knowledge with our self-control or our determination. And that determination or self-control with endurance. Keep at it. Keep the awareness. You got this. And that endurance with holiness, a sense of the sacredness of our loving. Endurance with godliness, godliness with affection, affection with love. Yeah, baby. I want to share with you this inspiration card. It says, trust everything that you need to know is being revealed to you in the perfect space-time sequence. I trust the guidance of the universe. Would you breathe that in with me? I trust the guidance of the universe. Everything is being revealed in the right time. The work doesn't have to torture us. The seeds don't have to surprise us. It's part of the human condition. And that's ordinary, and we're here to be extraordinary. Namaste. I invite you to take a deep breath and just relax for a time of meditation. Just finding yourself right where you are, with the sounds in the sanctuary and the beating of your heart. There's one heartbeat in this universe. There's one mind, one love. Allow the beautiful sounds of the littles to just tickle your heart and to uplift your mind. We're in a space of belonging. We're in a space of acceptance. We're in a space of self-love. And yes, the human condition can be crunchy, can cause suffering, can bring us into feelings we tend not to classify as good. That's nothing in the face of God. God does nothing to keep us from peace in each moment. So we take a deep inhale and exhale. Simply entering into a state of allowing. Asking that peace be expanded within us. Asking for a mighty quickening right here, right now, in this moment, that what needs to be revealed is revealed. What needs to go, goes. What needs to stay, stays. What needs to build, expands. What needs to dissipate, dissolves. There is one light. I am of this light. This is my true birthright and my conscious destiny. And breathe into that truth in the sacred silence. by the power of this practice. May all beings have freedom from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings know that we are born blessed and here to be a blessing. May all beings know God as love and themselves as emanations of this love. We give thanks for the practice. We give thanks for this life and the time and the form. We give this life. Namaste. So affirm with me, I trust the guidance of the universe. Together, I trust the guidance of the universe, and so it is.